Hi, Totem Falls families. We are beginning to prepare to come back to school, and I thought it would be a good idea to make a video so you had an idea of some of the planning that's gone into making things safe here, what the routines will look like, what some of the expectations are for students, so that you can make an informed decision about whether to remain remote or to come back to school this year. Mrs. Duncan's going to help me as we go through this. We're going to visit certain sections of the school so that you have a good idea of what it's going to be like. So these are a few things to bear in mind as you prepare to come to school. Before you even get here, while you're at home, you're going to be able to do an attestation from home that your child is healthy and ready to be at school. More information will come home from the school district about how to do this electronically, and we're asking that that be done by 7:45 as it takes some time to upload into the system, and we double check that when students arrive. Arrival on campus will begin at 8:15. Should you arrive earlier, we're going to ask that students remain in the car until that time when we are set and ready to accept students. As you get ready for the day, some things to think about is that students will be having lunch here, so they can bring their lunch, or lunch will be provided here for free. Breakfast is also being provided for free. Students will receive a breakfast if they want to take home at the end of the day to eat the following morning. All the drinking fountains here have been turned off. So if students bring water bottles, personal water bottles, that would be a great idea. We have tons of hand sanitizer here, but if students want to bring their own sanitizer, they are more than welcome to do that. By this time, I'm assuming that all students have their own masks. They can bring their own mask. We ask that it's somehow labeled so that we can make sure that gets back to their rightful owner. If they forget a mask or if they lose a mask while here, we have disposable masks to be used. Students can bring school supplies that they have at home in their backpack from the supply list that was sent earlier in the year. We will take care of any supplies that they might need beyond that, or communicate what we need beyond that once we get started back at school. Also, just as a precaution, you might want to put a change of clothes in their backpack too, just in case there's an accident at school, so that we can quickly and privately take care of that. So now that you're all packed up and you're ready to come to school, there are three ways that we get to Totem Falls. Students can walk to school as they typically had. The safety patrols will be out in force with the adult patrols helping kids cross the street. As you can see, there's a bus here today for some of the students who are coming to campus right now. Bus service will be as it usually is. And then, of course, we have our parent drop-off here in the morning. Some things to think about. Again, 8:15 is our time to be dropping off at the earliest. When you arrive here, students will exit the car. There'll be staff out front to help with that. And then they will head over to the covered area where they will queue up and meet their teacher for the day. Let's head on over there. So when students arrive on campus, they will come to the covered area. This is our staging area for all of our transitions from recess into lunch and to start the school day. All students will have a class color associated with it. We're going to pretend that Mrs. Duncan and I are both in Mrs. Challenger's second grade class, and that our color is green. We will come, we are already set up and staged to be socially distanced. We will have our masks on, and we will wait for Mrs. Challenger to come pick us up. At that time, we are going to determine who's done their attestation in the morning, and those that have not completed it, we will take care of that in the gym at that time. Or if students aren't feeling well, we'll make sure and take care of them at that time and communicate that with you. So this is at the end of the day. Students will be dismissed and exit the school through the front doors here. Students who are riding the bus will go to the gym initially and line up in their bus numbers. And the students who are walking are just going to go ahead and leave campus as they typically would. Again, adults cannot come on campus. We can't have visitors on campus, so you might think about where you might meet your child if they're going to walk home to continue home from there. Students who are being picked up are going to have a marker like this, and I'm going to pretend that Mrs. Duncan is my sister right now. So I came out first, but my sister is going to come and stand next to me, and we're going to look for our family. And when here comes the car now, there's Mom. So as soon as we see that as our family, we're going to go ahead and approach the car, get in, and then you'll go ahead and leave. And that's how we will do dismissal. This is one cone. Of course, there'll be many cones, and students will be taught about what to look for one another and their family, as well as for the car coming up. Now we want to talk a little bit about lunch. We set up a lunch table here in the courtyard because the gym is being used by the YMCA right now, but the gym is where we will have lunch. Again, the color coding is important here. So Mrs. Duncan is going to be a kindergartner in Mrs. Wilson's class, for example, and her color is yellow. So she's going to come into the gym, and Mrs. Wilson's going to bring her class down, and then Mrs. Duncan has her place already set up here. It will have her name on it. She will sit down, and at that time she can take her mask off and begin to eat her lunch. She will have other students in her class that will be sitting 6 feet apart. So as you can see, there'll be 3 students at a lunch table for eating lunch. Students who bring their lunch will come down. They go to recess first. They'll come in from recess, line up as we showed you in the covered area. They'll enter the gym, grab their lunch from the covered area, come in, sit down to eat lunch. Those buying lunch will have a choice, and they will go through a line, and we will help facilitate getting them the choice that they want, and then they will come in and sit down at the lunch table and begin to eat their lunch. At the end of lunch, students will collect their things, and the teacher will come and gather them up and take them back to class from the gym. So I wanted to take a minute to talk a little bit about transitions. So there will of course be transitions here at school, as there typically are. Students will be leaving the classroom to go to recess. They will be leaving the playground to go to lunch. They will be arriving from the car or the bus to go to class. So all those natural transitions are points where we are going to be reminding kids to sanitize their hands. So when they come in and picked up by their teacher in the morning, there'll be an opportunity to sanitize their hands. Before they go to recess, there'll be an opportunity to sanitize their hands. When they are done with lunch recess and getting ready to go into the gym for lunch, you get the picture. We'll be sanitizing our hands. The other thing is I wanted to point out is we have some visual cues here in the courtyard to help students understand both the distancing as well as the right-of-way. We're using the rules of the road here. And the purple line is our midsection of the road, and so we'll stay on the right-hand side when we're moving through the campus. Really, teachers will be reinforcing facing forward when we're moving. We're going to try to maintain 6 feet whenever possible. That will be our goal while we're here. And here we are at the bathrooms. I want to talk a little bit about how we've prepared for students to use the bathroom safely. As you can see, only 2 students in the restroom at a time. We have signage to support that. We also have dots on the floor so students know where they can stand and maintain their distance. So Ms. Duncan is here. She came out because she needs to use the bathroom. She's going to check inside. Are there 2 people in there, Mrs. Duncan?
Busy.
So she's going to wait till somebody exits and then she can go into the bathroom. As students exit, we're again encouraging hand washing at these points. There'll be ample amounts of hand sanitizer, but also the sinks here are available for students to wash their hands. As you notice, we've closed one of the sinks. We want to maintain that social distance, so these are closed. There are 3 fixtures in the bathroom, and the middle one is closed. Thus, only 2 people can use the bathroom at a time. I want to take a minute to show you a classroom setup as well and what that looks like. The school district came in, and I don't know if you can see on the floor, there are dots that have been placed there for desks to be put so that they're 6 feet apart. This is Mrs. Challenger's second grade classroom, but most of the classrooms will be looking very similar to this. Students will be in here working on their assignments, listening to their teacher, following their directions. They will have opportunities to interact, all the while trying to be thinking about where we're facing and how much time we are spending in closer proximity together. I wanted to point out over here, Mrs. Duncan is going to be my teacher, and there's a space here set up so that she could have 1 or 2 students come up and spend time with her in this safely confined space and do some small group work. That is something that might be happening at school. It might not look like this. It could be a series of desks that are brought together because, of course, the number of students that are in the classroom will impact how much space there is, how much flexibility around that. Well, that concludes what I wanted to share with you about what the structure of the day will look like. As far as the schedule and other details that may be emerging as still things are changing all the time, that information will be shared with you from the school district. I hope this video helps you in your decision about whether or not you want to have your child come back to school. My goal was to reinforce the idea that you had a good picture of what it might look like, while also recognizing there's still a lot of details, a lot of questions you might have, but you have a general view, and that you understand that still there's interaction that's going to be happening at school. Kids will be together, they will be learning and playing and talking together. So again, I hope this helps in your decision.